death of a partner, from the name you can understand that in a partnership firm, one of the partner dies. So death may be because of any reason, maybe natural, maybe accident, whatever, or due to health issues. So if there are only two partners, if one partner die, only one will survive. So then it becomes sole trading concern. But here, which one we are discussing is partnership containing more than two partners. That is 3 or 4 or something like that. If one partner dies, there should be at least two partners alive. If two partners are alive, the business will continue as a partnership business only, as a partnership firm only. That situation we are discussing here. The changes will happen in the partnership agreement due to various reasons. One such reason is death of a partner. As I was mentioning, if there are 3 partners, one partner dies, so 2 partners will continue the business. So partnership business will not come to an end. Partnership agreement will come to an end. And those 2 partners have to create a new agreement, and they can continue the same business with the new terms and conditions. The new terms and conditions may be related to profit sharing ratio, may be related to responsibilities, may be related to capital, may be related to operation of bank accounts, and so on, so on, so on. There are many new things that can bring in to the agreement. So a new agreement will come into existence in place of the old one. So old one is when 3 partners were there. New one is when 2 partners will be there. They will continue the business. So this is also actually connected to the change in the partnership agreement. We call it as dissolution of partnership, not dissolution of partnership firm. So dissolution of partnership means the agreement will come to an end. So that agreement may be due to admission of a partner, may be due to retirement of a partner, may be due to death of a partner. So here, the dissolution of partnership due to death of a partner. So usually what happens in case of retirement means one of the partner will retire, that is the partner will go out of the firm and the remaining partners will continue the business. Usually partnership due to retirement, it changes the agreement again, and easy for accounting because retirement usually happens at the end of a particular financial year or an accounting year. But death of a partner is not like that. Death of a partner may happen any day in a year, need not be end of a accounting year itself. And in case of a death of a partner, the money, whatever he has invested, whatever he has earned, whatever he is supposed to get, he will not be alive to collect the money. So his money will be taken away by somebody else or enjoyed by somebody else, maybe son, daughter, wife, or in case of wife is a partner, husband, or any relative, somebody who is connected to the deceased partner as per law. So we call them as legal heirs, and we also call it as executors. So the legal representatives of the deceased partner in the partnership firm will be eligible for claiming the money due to the deceased partner, and they can collect the money on behalf of the deceased partner. So this situation is a bit different from retirement of a partner. So it is going to happen any day in the year. So whenever the death happens, the business will continue, but accounting records has to be closed, because as I told, dissolution of partnership agreement where three people were there, suppose say they were getting equal partnership, or they were having equal partnership in the profits, then they're eligible for getting 33%, almost 33.33% in case of three partners are sharing equally. When one partner dies, next day onwards, only two partners will be alive. If they do the business and share the profits equally, they will be getting 50% profits. So they will share 50% profit. So profit sharing ratio will change, responsibilities will change, terms and conditions will change, but the business will continue. Because there are so many changes, the business or a partnership firm has to close the books of accounts abruptly. Maybe suppose a new accounting year starts in 1st April. Suppose say the person dies on September end. So from April to September, business has been done. Books of accounts cannot be closed, but some adjustments can be done to suit to the requirement and give away the money to the deceased partners, legal representatives, and they can continue the business. So there's uncertainty. So how to deal with this situation now? So the settlement of money for retiring partner and deceased partner will be similar, but in case of retirement, the person who is retired can receive the money. The agreement will be there between firm and him, when to pay the money, how much to pay the money, so all those details, in how many installments or immediate money, etc. But in case of deceased partner, the partner will not be alive to collect the money. So the agreement has to take place between the partnership firm, that is the surviving partners, and the executors of the deceased partner, how to settle the money. Immediately, the entire money to be paid, or it has to be paid in installments. So all those things will be ascertained, understood, and the things will go on further. So how to ascertain the amount due to the deceased partner, I will take up now. So we will try to understand here, if a partner dies, as I told, son, daughter, or somebody has to collect the money, but the partners who are alive, who are survived, we call it as, they have to calculate the money payable to the person who has died. How much money payable by those remaining partners or surviving partners to the deceased partner has to be calculated, because it has to be explained also to the executors, that's the legal representatives. Otherwise, they will go to court of law. Whatever money payable to us not given, the remaining partners are cheated, all those things will happen. So it has to be very clear in the agreement. Usually in any partnership business, usually they have some rules and regulations mentioned in the partnership agreement. In case of death, how to go about, how to calculate the money payable, amount payable to the deceased partner. So we will try to know which are all the items which comes into consideration while paying the money to the executors of the deceased. The first one is the capital amount given by the partner who has died. The partner might have given 1 lakh or 2 lakhs or 10 lakhs as capital. So that money is payable, that will be there in the capital account as by balance brought down. Usually the account will show how much capital is given by the partner. First one. The next one is special adjustments. What do we call it as in general partnership? Like interest on capital. If agreement says that the partner has to be given an interest on the capital, then the business has to give interest on capital to the deceased partner from the date of death to the from the beginning of the accounting year to the date of death. From the beginning of accounting year to the date of death. I given an example earlier. First April of a year to 30th of September. So from April to September, how many months are there to be calculated? And based on that, or 31st September, so how many months are there? For that number of months, interest has to be paid. So suppose 6 months, the partner is alive, means for 6 months interest has to be paid. So it will be credited to partner's capital. Then if a partner is an active partner, in the agreement it is mentioned the partner has to be given a salary or commission for the work done by the deceased partner, maybe monthly salary or annual salary. For the number of months the partner is alive, for 6 months if he is alive, for 6 months salary, and commission if it is annual, again 6 months commission. So like that amount to be calculated, and the amount has to be credited to partner's capital. If the commission is based on sales, then in 6 months how much sales has been done has to be estimated. Actual sales may not be known because they might have done cash sales, credit sales, and so on. So for that also they will check it up and they will do the changes and they will go for finalization of the commission part of it, commission based on sales. So commission may be based on percentage also possible, commission based on annual basis also possible. According to the agreement, that is whatever given in the problem, we have to calculate accordingly. The sentences will be very clear, so I will explain that to you further. Next, this is a partner's share in reserve fund. The business usually creates some reserve for the future. Every business usually goes for creating some reserves, that is for the unknown situations. So some profit will be kept aside for various purposes. They are called as reserves, reserve fund, general reserve, and any reserve. They can be anything for employees, for some other problems. So for various purposes, they create reserves. So they're all called as accumulated profit. You can see the word here, accumulated profits. Accumulated profits means profits kept aside for various purposes, unused. If it is used, money will not be available. The money is available, not divided among the partners, that is called accumulated profits. Profits added, that is accumulated. So accumulated is added. So when a partner dies, that reserve, whatever is there, to be given to the deceased partner. All partners may divide, they may take away from the business, that is also there. Otherwise, whatever the share of deceased partner, give that to the deceased partner account, credit to account, and the remaining reserve will continue for future. That is also possible. So it depends on the agreement, depends on their requirement. So accumulated profits will be divided among the partners. The next one comes as the share of goodwill. So goodwill is good name earned by the business. So here that name is evaluated. The person who has died also might have worked in the business for the growth of the business, for the benefit of the business. He might have worked for 8 years, 10 years, 20 years. So good name, good work has created value for their products, services, and they have good name. So the continuing partners or surviving partners has to give some amount of goodwill to the deceased partner as per the agreement. That is as mentioned in the problem. So I will explain how to calculate the goodwill amount, and that amount also will be a gain for the deceased partner. It will be credited to the deceased partner's capital account. Next is joint life policy, like a insurance policy taken for individual. A policy, insurance policy is taken for all the partners together. If one partner dies, the money will be received from insurance company. So that money, each partner will get it. So what is the share of that to the deceased partner has to be identified, and it has to be credited. Suppose equal partnership means, suppose they get 3 lakh rupees, 1 lakh to each partner. So like that, the money will be divided. Then the partner may be withdrawn some money for personal purpose. What do we call it as drawings? So till that 6 months or 8 months he was alive, how much money he has withdrawn for partner from the partnership for personal purposes, that amount is debited to partner's capital. I'll show you the pro forma. Similarly, on that, what is the interest payable by the partner to business, or business has to collect from the partner? So 6% interest, 8% interest, all those will be there. That amount also will be calculated and debited to partner's capital account. So as you have seen in general partnership. Then the next one is the undistributed profit or loss. The business in last 1 year or 2 year, they have a profit. They might have not divided among themselves. They might have kept the profit as it is. So that profit is divided, or even loss. Loss might have not divided. If loss is also there, that has to be divided. So undistributed profit or loss to be divided among partners. So whatever the share of profit, whatever the share of loss, to be given to the deceased partner as per the agreement in the given ratio, whatever ratio, if not equal ratio. So then the business is going on. The business has been done for 6 months or 8 months. When the partner was alive, in that sales might have done, profits might have earned, but how much profit is earned, the business cannot calculate because they are not closing the books of accounts. So they will estimate for that 6 months when the partner was alive, how much profit the business might have earned, an imaginary amount. This much of profit the business might have earned in last 6 months. So in that 6 months calculation, what is the share of decisive partner? Suppose say last 1 year, 12 lakh rupees profit earned. So based on that, if you take for 6 months, it is 6 lakhs. So in 6 lakhs profit, how much goes to the decisive partner? If 3 partners are there, the 6 lakh is divided by 3. So each partner will get 2 lakh rupees. So like that, that amount is called as accrued profit or loss. Accrued means not finalized. So whatever due to the partner, it is a calculation done, only estimation. So it is called profit and loss suspense account, because accrued profit or loss means the profit or loss earned during that particular financial year, and that profit is not a real profit, that loss is not a real loss. So it is called as profit and loss suspense account. So if profit is there credited, loss means loss will be debited. Then due to this is a partner situation, the value of assets and liabilities might have changed over a period of time, maybe 5 years, 10 years. Land, building, machinery, furniture, values might have changed. So the value might have increased, the value might have decreased. So due to that reason, the partners will get benefit. So when the new agreement comes into picture, before that they have to go for revalue the assets and liabilities of the business. It also happens at the time of admission. It also happens at the time of retirement. So like that, even at the time of death of a partner, the revaluation of assets and liabilities will be done if agreement says so. Agreement is there for that reason. So then profit or loss will be shared. Then the partnership is taking the accounts or writing the accounts in fixed capital method. Then there will be current accounts. So that current account balances to be transferred to the deceased partner, because current account to be transferred to capital account, then the capital account has to be transferred to executor's account. So while calculating the amount due to the deceased partner, all these points are considered, then only the value will be calculated. How much is the money that should be shared or that will be given to the deceased partner? So fluctuating capital method means that the capital account of deceased partner looks like this. Usually by balance brought down, and if current account balances are there, it will be transferred. I'll explain when the problem is done. Then by profit and loss account, if any undistributed profits of previous year is there, by reserve fund, by general reserve, if any accumulated profits are there, by interest on capital, by salary account or commission account, by goodwill account, by profit and loss suspense account. That is share of profit in the current year, sales, current year earnings. By revaluation account, profit on revaluation. By joint life policy account. These are all the benefits to the deceased partner on the credit side. On the debit side, all the deductions to the deceased partner's account, like drawings up to the date of death, interest on drawings. Then to revaluation means loss on revaluation. To profit and loss account means the previous year loss not distributed. To profit and loss suspense account means the loss earned in the current year. Then the balance will be done of the account. That balance is usually to deceased partner's executor account. As you can see, final balance transferred. So this money will be transferred to the executor account, whatever the name, maybe A, maybe B, maybe C, whatever name. So that partner has to be paid. That person has to be paid that much money on behalf of deceased partner. So the money will be payable to the executor. So from here to it becomes by opposite. The money is paid immediately to bank or cash account, and the remaining money will be treated as loan. It will be paid in installment. As per the agreement, it will be done. So we'll be preparing, this is a partner's capital account, we're preparing executor's account also. So this is in the textbook which I have shared with you, the old textbook, page number 212, you can see there.
Excuse me, sir.
Go through the pro forma and you can ask any question you have further.